What's up, everybody? John the Morgal here. Gonna do a short video on something that I just thought was too hilarious to ignore. So I got this survey from FPL, my lovely and charming psychopathic power company, who purport to burn fossil fuels and clean coal. If that isn't an oxymoron, I don't know what is. When we all know there's plenty of means of attaining free energy or sustainable energy, as it were. Just as one example, the diesel engine, invented in the late 1800s, preceded the regular fossil fuel burning internal combustion engine that we're all very familiar with. Essentially the same thing, named after the guy Diesel, who invented it in the 1800s. And by the way, that was invented to run on peanut oil. And to this day, you can still run a diesel engine on basically fryer grease or lots of different types of oils, natural oils. So anyway, I got this survey from FPL, and some of these questions to me just prove what a psychopath FPL is. So you start out slow, non-invasive, non-bizarre questions like either you strongly disagree to the spectrum of strongly agree. FPL provides accurate bills, provides bills that are easy to understand. Then the next one is provides quality electric power in terms of being free from spikes, drops, or surges. Still in the basic stuff. Plans ahead to ensure future reliable service. They plan ahead to raise my bill and bilk me for every last dime they possibly can. So basically some customer service questions, genuinely listens to customers' concerns. No. Just for the chagrins, I'm going to call FPL right now and try to get someone on the phone to get an extension on my bill.
Florida Power and Light. Para español, marque 9. I found an account using the phone number you're calling from. Are you calling about service for the address starting with?
Yes.
Okay, to report an emergency like a downed wire or outage, say report a problem. Otherwise, for verification, say or enter the last 4 digits of the account holder's social security or social insurance number. Thanks. I see that there's a past due balance on your account. Is this the reason for your call?
Yes.
For service through January 9th, your total FPL balance is $86.43. This includes an outstanding final notice balance of $86.43, which is due on February 11th. In order to avoid disconnection of service, the full amount of the final notice must be paid by the expiration date. Please note, when paying using any of our authorized payment methods, it is not necessary to report the payment to FPL. This is the same information available to our customer service representatives. We will send a balance summary to your Gmail account. If you have received the information that you need, you may hang up now.
Agent.
Sorry, say repeat the balance or press 1. Check a different balance or press 2. Hear payment options or press 3. Request a payment extension or press 4. Billing and payment history or press 5. Get my account number or press 6. You can also say more options or press 7.
More options.
What? Just interrupt and say it back to me. Request a copy of a statement, automatic payments, or deposit information. To hear these options again, please say repeat or say go back to hear the previous options.
Go back.
Here are your options. Repeat the balance. Get the balance
On a different account, make a payment, request a payment extension, billing and payment history, obtain my account number, or hear more options. To hear these options again, please say repeat.
Agent.
Sorry, that option is not available. Let's try again. Here are
Your options. Repeat the balance. Get the balance on a different account.
Request payment extension.
Payment extensions protect your account from collections, but your payment will still be considered late. Your current balance is $86.43. Please note, this does not include special program or unbilled charges. The maximum extension that you qualify for on your past due balance, $86.43, is up to Tuesday, February 12th. Tuesday, February 12th. Tuesday, February 12th.
Tuesday, February 12th.
1 whole day? No, agent. The past due date that I have to pay it by is February 11th, and the robot man will give me all the way to February the 12th. What is the point in calling for a payment extension?
You'd like to return to the main menu. Is that right?
No, I want to speak with a person.
Say yes or press 1. Or if it's not right, say no or press 2. Mistake. Your current balance is $86.
Agent. Customer service.
Sorry, that option is not available. The time allowed is the maximum time that can be granted and cannot be changed by a representative. To
Decline.
You would like to decline the offer, right?
Yes.
We have reviewed your account and determined the payment extension that has been offered to you is the maximum that our automated system or any of our representatives can grant. You can make a payment with a credit card, which can provide more flexibility. You can say, here's the offer again. Pay with a credit card. Other payment options. Account balance or main menu. To end this call, simply hang up.
Go your robot self. See, I remember a time when corporations actually gave a damn about customer service, but when you have a literal monopoly on a necessity, a staple item in this modern world like electricity, you really don't have to compete with anybody. So you don't have to worry about keeping your pricing competitive because it's not like I can go to one of the other several choices of power companies. And it's not like you have to worry about customer service because, it's not like I'm going to choose some other company for their customer service. So, at least, I would be much happier if they outsourced it to a developing country where they barely speak English like so many other corporations do. But they don't even bother to do that. They give you the robot guy. And I have gotten through to their customer service agents before, and it is difficult. This time it was a Saturday, so in their defense, I think that they're closed on Saturdays, but what's up with that? For the amount of money that we pay for electricity, you'd think that we could get 24/7 customer service. And I know that it seems like my bills seem low, but I'm very conscientious about the power that I use. Don't have any heat, and it is actually kind of cold in Florida. Not running the air condition. Cook minimally, minimal showers. So it's the only thing I really run is my computer, which is energy efficient. So anyway, during the summer, my power bills are sometimes double that. So it's much cheaper to be able to open the window and regulate the temperature than it is to constantly run the air because it's like 100 degrees. So. Okay, so that's why I gave them a strongly disagree on those questions, which is easily accessible to customers and employees are professional because, well, for one thing, I don't consider a robot man an employee, and he was not very professional, just saying. So the next ones are like about how they work to control costs, works to control its costs to keep my electric rates as affordable as possible. And yeah, neither agree nor disagree. How would I know any of that? Provides different pricing options that meet my needs. And I put strongly disagree because as far as I know, they charge you a kilowatt hour rate, and there is no wiggle room in that rate, I don't think. Provides programs and incentives, information and tools, da 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 da. Don't you love this curveball question? FPL is, select one, an internet service provider, an electric power utility company, a cable provider, a financial institution, or don't know. Like, how would you not know who FPL is? That's crazy. If you're doing this survey, then you must know who they are, I would think. Okay, now is when things get a little creepy. Okay, so this is the psychopath coming out in FPL. Now for some questions about how FPL runs its business. To what extent do you agree or disagree that FPL is a company I respect and admire? Is a company I can count on to do the right thing? Goes above and beyond what is expected? Is a well-managed company? And is a company that looks out for what is best for its customers? Yeah. And by looking out for what is best for its customers, you mean charging them every dime possible for electric services when it should be free, seeing how our tax dollars and government subsidies are what keep these places going. Right? Like, look at the subsidies on the costs of oil and coal. It's ridiculous. They should be taxing the crap out of that. But no, instead, they hand those crazy mofos money. Right? So the opposite of taxing them, what do you know, is a company that I respect and admire. Like, and by the way, the answer to all those questions, I range from strongly disagree to the next one above strongly disagree to neither agree nor disagree in terms of is a well-managed company, because I frankly don't know anything about their management. Okay, so now for some additional questions about how FPL runs its business. To what extent do you agree or disagree that FPL is a humble company? Operates with no hidden agendas or ulterior motives. Now, like, hold on a minute. Let me put the brakes on this question. So, like, is it just me, or is that really, really creepy of a question for the utility company to ask? Operates with no hidden agendas or ulterior motives. And I'm telling you, the whole 1984 thing ran through my head, so I answered that question, neither agree nor disagree. Because what are they going to do if I answer that wrong? Like, come and break my legs? Who knows? Because I'm really not sure whether they have hidden agendas or ulterior motives, but I will strongly disagree that FPL is a humble company, because if they were humble, they would give me more than a frickin' day's extension on my $85 power bill. Not to mention, of course, the glaring fact that simply asking around if people think you're humble sort of disqualifies you outright from the humble category. Like, if somebody came up to you and asked you, like, do you think I'm humble? How humble do you think I am? Or even worse, if they went around proclaiming how humble they were, right, it just sort of disqualifies them from that banner altogether. Power bill. My goodness, that is absolutely ridiculous that they would even ask these questions. Like, and you know what's funny? They pay some guy $250,000 a year to come up with these questions. I shit you not. Okay, here we go. So, and it continues. Like, this is, they should have given me 10% off my next bill or something for filling this out. It's like my SATs up in this mug. All right. Plans ahead. This is my perception of how FPL uses technology and other innovations. Plans ahead to meet future electricity needs. Is an innovative electricity provider. Invests in new technology that improves the programs and services it offers to customers. Invests in new technology that improves the electrical grid. Works to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels such as coal and oil to make electricity. And by the way, you can't see my answers here. Well, actually, I think I do record myself answering through all these to come back now and do the commentary. But wow, like, this is just a bit creepy. Is it just me, or is this really kind of creepy? So let's see. Let me skip through this a bit. Strongly disagree to all that shite. Neither agree nor disagree to invest in new technology. Oh, wait, I didn't see my final answer. And strongly disagree to the last one. Okay, here we go. So, keeps me informed about what it's doing for customers, is a good neighbor in the communities that it serves, invests in Florida's future, works to make living and working in Florida better. Now, I'm sorry, but this is just really creepy. They're asking me what my perception is, how they are a good neighbor or not. Like, really, who would ask these questions? And I'm sorry, but if you were the one in charge of coming up with these questions, like, I'm sorry, most of these wouldn't even make it into the survey. But, like, keeps me informed about what it's doing for customers. Like, what could it possibly be doing for customers but keeping the lights on and charging them out the ass for something that should be free? Nikola Tesla, the really the inventor of AC current, the father of electrical technology as we know it today, um, wanted to set up wireless electrical grids that would be available freely to everyone. But of course, the oligarchy, the moneyed men, the elite rulers, as it were, those Freemason guys, um, they didn't like that. You know, J.P. Morgan, even Thomas Edison, who was sort of Morgan's one of Morgan's lackeys, as it were, uh, more or less. I mean, that's a pretty harsh, broad stroke summary, but hey, you know what they did to Tesla ultimately was unforgivable. Although at least we still have the benefits of Tesla technology. It certainly isn't free as it was intended by its creator. And let's not forget, pretty much every technology that is attributed to satellites can be achieved using Tesla technologies, which are ground-based using an array of towers, much like what you would find with a cell phone tower system. And of course, the very fact that we can see satellites with the naked eye proves that they are certainly not hundreds of miles away as claimed by NASA. At the very nearest, there are some satellites they claim that are thousands of miles in altitude, but the very nearest ones, say the ISS, is allegedly about 250 or 300 miles up. And of course, the very fact that we can see it sometimes with the naked eye is proof positive that it is not 250 or 300 miles in altitude, just simply due to the angular size resolution of an object. The size of a football field that far removed would be way too small to see from even 200 miles away. That's why I don't have any respect for companies like FPL. They're basically charging us money to maintain a grid that our forebears, built with their blood, sweat, and tears and tax dollars, and we maintain with our bill. But I just don't think that there should be large groups of people, not just the corporate structure like the CEO and all those guys, get rich off of a basic necessity, but then you have all the shareholders as well. And just like any corporation, FPL must increase and grow annually. So if you do just as well as you did last year, that ain't good enough. You have to do better each year, and that is unsustainable. And when you couple unsustainable profitability, or the whole capitalist mindset, into something that is a necessary staple of modern life, then it just breeds corruption, period. But what can you do? You can certainly give them bad grades on their surveys, but what exactly is that going to accomplish? But maybe making them change their public face if enough people complain that you can never get a hold of their customer service, which is ridiculous this day and age. Builds and operates plants that use clean energy, takes actions to protect the environment, is regularly involved in the local community. Like, yeah, because I see FPL out there on the corner baking cookies and selling lemonade for 10 cents a pop on the corner over there, right? Give me a break. Like, regularly involved in the community. Wow. Okay, so if asked, how likely would you be to speak positively to others about your experience with FPL? From one, not at all likely to speak positively, to 7, extremely likely to speak positively. I think I probably would give them a 1, because of all the things that I mentioned. They're basically charging us out the ass for something that should be free. Okay, maybe there should be some sort of a monthly surcharge for maintenance. You gotta pay somebody to fix the lights when a tree falls on the cable or whatever. But at the same time, that sort of thing could be paid for out of tax dollars. I mean, it's not as if we're short on tax dollars. We've got billions for foreign entanglements, which we never should be involved in. If asked, how likely would you be to speak negatively to others about your experiences with FPL? And I would say extremely likely, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Which of the following statements best describes your relationship with FPL? I don't think about FPL at all as long as they keep the lights on. I don't think about FPL much at all, but do occasionally look to them for information on energy-related matters. Yeah, it's like, let me go to the wolf and ask him about dinner, right? I regularly look to FPL for guidance on matters related to energy and how I use it in my household. And finally, I view FPL as a trusted partner and consistently look to them for advice and guidance on matters related to energy and how I use it in my household. Wow. Talk about total psychopathic questions that they're asking. I think that was the last one. Oh, and here we go. No, there is one more. So, have you made any positive or negative comments about FPL in the last 3 months? Please select all that apply. I have made positive comments about FPL in the last 3 months. I have made negative comments about FPL in the last 3 months, or I have not made any comments about FPL in the last 3 months. And honestly, I was thinking maybe I have in the last 3 months, but I don't think I necessarily want to admit that, or do I? Yeah, I think I ended up, just going ahead and putting it that I have. Watch, my power bill is going to like triple now because I speak negatively about fossil fuel burning, allegedly fossil fuel burning companies all the time. And by the way, fossil fuels are not made out of fossils. That is a myth. Please think about the overall energy situation we face today as a nation. How do you feel FPL is contributing to the situation? Are they helping to improve the overall energy situation? Making the overall energy situation worse? Not having any impact either way on the overall energy situation? Don't know. So, I definitely put making it worse because, again, there's absolutely no need to burn fossil fuels to generate electricity. Really, all you have to do to generate electricity is either spin a magnet around a coil or spin a metallic coil around a magnet. And there you go. And in order to do that, there's lots of natural ways that don't include burning oil or so-called fossil fuels. And anybody that purports to do that, although they may be generating free energy out of the ether or 0 point energy, as it were, and just telling everyone that they're burning fossil fuels, but I don't know. Who really knows? That would make a lot of sense business-wise, and you could cook the books to grow, have that annual growth that is necessary for all corporations to remain alive. So yeah, definitely making it worse. And as we conclude our survey, we have a few questions about you. These voluntary questions are strictly for classification purposes and will help us further understand the opinions of our customers. Wow, and like right here, I was like, oh my God, what exactly are they going to ask about moi? Okay, so highest level of education, age, income level, income level. And are you of Spanish, Hispanic, or Latin origin? Prefer not to answer, but what difference does that make? Like, why don't they have, like, isn't that discrimination? Why don't they have Greek on there? I feel left out. I'm offended because they didn't put my specific classification of race in there. They only put three, really repeated the same thing thrice. So Spanish, Hispanic, or Latin. I mean, aren't those all sort of interchangeable? That would be like, and what do you want? Do you want potatoes, or the white fat roots that grow in the ground and have skins on them? They also call them spuds. Give me a frickin' break. End of interview. Thank you for your participation. So just thought that was really quite creepy and a little bit amusing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. As always, this channel is viewer supported, so if you'd like to contribute, please consider becoming a channel supporter. I'll put the links up right here and in the description. Thanks so much, guys. God bless you all. And as always, spread the word, spread the world, and peace out, everybody.
Make the earth shake.